This impressive pass packs a huge amount of punch into a relatively short distance. It's located in the southern part of Lesotho on a minor road which itself is accessible from the A4 route about 12 kilometers northwest of Kwacha's Neck. The road connects a number of remote mountain villages as well as providing access to the Matabang Pass, one of the most difficult gravel passes in Lesotho. The pass starts at an altitude of 2,010 meters at the village of Haniatso. Be careful of livestock and children who seem to appear out of nowhere with a big grin and a friendly greeting. The road loops through a wide right-hand curve around the foot of the village, descending at a gentle gradient of 1 in 20. At the 0.6 kilometer mark, you'll reach the first of many sharp bends. This one turns to the left through 160 degrees and continues bending constantly via a gentle curve to the left. The gradients ease off perceptibly here and last until the 1 kilometer mark, where another left-hand bend of 80 degrees marks the start of the steeper section. The steeper section only lasts for a few hundred meters, but the gradient switches to 1 in 7. If it's been raining, drivers need to be extra careful on this section as the drop-offs to the right are very steep. The first true hairpin is reached at the 1.3 kilometer mark, which is a 170 degree right-hander. The hairpins are best approached keeping to the outside of the turn. If you enjoy multiple hairpin bends and canyon views, then do yourself a favor and drive this pass. It sports 32 bends, corners and curves packed tightly into the overall length of 5.1 kilometers, producing an average gradient of 1 in 17, with the maximum gradient topping out at 1 in 6 on the northern side. Of those 32 bends, 10 are full hairpins. At the 2.1 kilometer point, the next hairpin is reached, which is a 180 degree, very tightly radius left-hander. Another 2 tight hairpins follow in rapid succession, whereafter the road follows the mountain ridge for 900 meters into the southeast. You'll be rewarded with spectacular views of the Tsoelike River Valley, which looks more like a canyon than a valley. In Lesotho, the language has a number of idiosyncrasies. For example, Tsoelike is not pronounced with an L but with a D, so it's pronounced as Tsoelike. Similarly, the universal greeting of hello is Lumela, which is pronounced as Dumela. The Malibamatsu River that feeds into the Katsi Dam is therefore pronounced as Madibamatsu. Throughout the descent, you'll be able to enjoy elevated views of the Tsoelike River Valley. The Tsoelike River is one of the most convoluted rivers that you'll find, following a tortuous route through the mountains and sourcing in the Tsehlaba Tebe National Park some 25 kilometers to the east as the crow flies. But if you trace its actual course, that extends to 130 kilometers. The river forms a confluence with the Senku River 6 kilometers west of the pass. At the 3.7 kilometer mark, there's a fork where you must keep right. The left-hand option follows the valley for many miles, connecting a range of small villages via a contour road. Soon the final 4 hairpins are reached. Some of these have been concreted, so if you're in low range, be aware that your vehicle might experience axle wind-up on these corners. The Tsoelike River is crossed via a low-level concrete bridge at the 4.3 kilometer mark. A green suspension bridge can be seen on the left, upstream, which was built by German missionaries in 1930 to help villagers get safely across the river. Other than a few missing floorboards, the bridge is still in a remarkably good condition considering it was built in 1930. The climb out of the valley on the southern side is short and steep, offering good views of the 2 bridges. The pass ends as the village of Hamatlali is entered at the 5.1 kilometer mark at an altitude of 1,794 meters.